Hello and welcome to Project Trinity podcast, where we explore real stories, powerful ideas, and grassroots innovations shaping the future of underserved communities. I'm your host, Enos Tudoko, and today's episode takes us into exciting intersections of animal health and technology, two worlds that are rapidly transforming how we care for our animals and secure food systems. Let me introduce our brilliant guests, Nicholas Camerinyang and Stanley Alfred. Nicholas is a trained animal health professional and a graduate of Egerton University of Agriculture and Technology, holding a bachelor's degree in animal health management. With years of experience, he works directly with farmers to prevent diseases, promote productivity, and improve livestock welfare. Stanley is a tech innovator and a graduate of Dedan Kimathi University of Science and Technology, where he earned a bachelor's degree in computer science. He is passionate about building digital tools that solve real-world problems, especially in agriculture and animal systems. Gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. Nicholas, what inspired you to pursue animal health? Was there a moment that shaped your journey?
Thank you, Mr. Enos. My journey into veterinary medicine began when I was still in primary school. I remember the day a veterinarian came to our village on a motorbike carrying an automatic syringe. I watched as he confidently treating animals, and something in me just lit up. From that moment, I admired the way he helped farmers and their animals. And I told myself one day I want to do the same. Later, as I grew up, my family lost 5 cattle due to blood. At that time, we didn't know what was happening or how to respond. It was painful, not just emotionally, but also economically. After gaining experience in the field, I realized that those animals could have been saved with the right knowledge and quick action. That experience gave me passion on a purpose to prevent such losses for other families in my community. So for me, being a vet isn't just a career, it is personal. It is about serving my people, protecting livelihood, and giving back to the community that raised me. Thank you.
That's a great inspiration, Nicholas. So, Stanley, tech is a big world. What led you to focus on solutions that support agriculture and livestock systems?
Thank you, Enos, for the question. Uh, Tech for real is a big field that is currently is a global thing that is happening. So, what led me to dive into technology is the passion started maybe a while ago when I was still in primary school, whereby the person who inspired me mostly is my dad, who had a laptop On those days, I had never seen a laptop. The laptop was from he was using it in the office, whereby he was an accountant at that time. He was using it to analyze the fees for the student and also maybe prepare reports for the accountancy. So I could access the device when he was just around, and I would ask him to maybe show me some tips on how to use it, maybe either by loading a video and also playing some movies. Later, I saw that there was some softwares that we could use them maybe to prepare reports and write documents and also to analyze data. That was Excel on that time and Microsoft Word. So after there, when I joined the high school, I took, I selected computer studies as the subject because we were choosing. So I choose computer science, computer uh, studies, and then after from the the completion of my high schools, I, I joined university, that is Dedan Kimathi, and I pursued the BSc in computer science, that is Bachelor of Science, that is the degree, and I earned that when I graduated in 2022. So from there, in my final year, that is the project for the graduation journey, I also deal with the project on solving the farmers' problems. I there was I identified the problem of the brokers, as you know, that our farmers are using brokers to sell their products. So I, I, I managed to come up with a website whereby a farmer can interact directly with the buyer, and that was the project that I deal with with it. So intake uh, with agriculture and tech, it will be easy if we integrate some solutions that are will help solve those problems that have our farmers are having. So thank you for that.
And I think you are very lucky as a kid, Stanley, because having interacted with computers from a tender age means that you are very lucky because when you come to rural communities, most of them don't have access to such devices and leave alone the computer. There's a smartphone. Most of the people don't have access to it. So I think you are very lucky and you have to do something great for the community. So let's now dive into understanding the animal health. And Nicholas, from your experience, what are the most common animal health problems affecting farmers in rural areas?
Thank you, Mr. Enos. Uh, there are many challenges that affecting animals in rural areas. The main ones are diseases like East Coast fever, contagious bovine pleuropneumonia, worms, and mastitis. And you find even the farmers are being challenged by worms. But maybe as veterinarian visited the farm and asked a farmer, how is the history of deworming? Have you been? You will just hear, it was recently. I did last time. It is only 1 month from today. But in reality, it is almost a year. And also we have also a challenge on mastitis, and mastitis majorly come from unhygienic because many animals they rest on a yard where they contain bacteria. They sleep on the same. So what I could advise farmers is maybe they could disinfect for the other teats so that bacteria could not germinate on the others. The other thing also is about ticks and parasites. These have been majorly destroying animals because farmers tend to use a weak acaricide, so ticks tend to build resistance to that drug. And also, I have been encouraging them to just use acaricide. After they develop resistance, they need to change and use another one that do not have not been interacting with it. Also, there is also access to quality vet care and drugs. Uh, Drugs is limited in rural areas because maybe you have one agrovet in one village and the next destination is very far. So that might bring problems to farms because they might not be able to access drugs at exact time. Also, we have an issue of climate change. When climate change, animals will be stressed because first there might be a reduce of pastures and worsening outbreaks. Thank you.
And also, for the benefit of a farmer who is out there listening to this podcast today, maybe you can just explain something about what Pokot community call YIT. So maybe you can just explain on that a little bit so that a common mwananchi out there can be able to understand better, because that's the major problem facing farmers today.
Okay. Actually, we have tick-borne diseases. Tick-borne diseases are around three or four. One is East Coast fever, which we used to call it yeast. The second one is anaplasmosis, which we used to call it sac. Then another one is called papesiosis. All of these diseases are tick-borne diseases. They are caused by ticks. So if the farmers could be very bright to do, they could have spray all the animals regularly so that to prevent disease reinfesting to their livestock. Because East Coast fever, anaplas, and papesiosis are caused by ticks. So to prevent all this is about spraying the animals. But now we say spraying is prevention is better than cure. So now when the animals have been affected by East Coast fever, uh, farmers used to treat for themselves in the earlier times, but with the current days, they have been interacting with a veterinarian because veterinarian have the right diagnosis of what they are treating, not like the farmers who can guess for what they can treat. Thank you.
And will you say these problems are mostly seasonal, or do they persist throughout the year?
Okay, to answer you that, uh, sometimes they are seasonal because there might be this can depend on weather changes, especially when there is a mixture of winter and I think summer. That is the time ticks are very active. They can infect on animals and causes diseases. So they are not predictable. They are sometimes they is seasonal. Actually, they are not predictable.
And how will you advise farmers, keeping in mind that right now there's a lot of rain? And what are some of those diseases that farmers are likely to encounter right now? What would you advise them?
Okay, thank you. What I can advise them is one, they need to regular dipping their animals. They need to spray the animals regularly to prevent tick-borne diseases. Secondly, they need also to vaccinate the animals against some diseases, for example, pneumonia, because with this rainy season, pneumonia tend to affect many animals, especially cows, sheep, and goats, together with the cattle. Yes.
Thank you, Nicholas. And how has the traditional approach to animal health changed in recent years?
Traditionally, treatment was simple and based on a community experience. Currently, we use lab tested drugs and vaccination plans and professional diagnosis. However, many rural farmers still mix old and new approaches. Sometimes this delay effective treatment. And one challenge we face as a veterinarian, you find farmers tend to treat their animals until they know there is no hope for this. They now tend to call veterinarian. And the first question maybe veterinarian can ask the farmer is, have you treated this livestock before or this cattle before? Obviously, the answer will be no. This is you are the first person now to treat this animal. That is the challenge the farmers is doing, because maybe the veterinarian want to know what has been treated before, so what can he tend to treat now. So that's the challenge the farmers are facing. Thanks.
And when you go to the field, how do you assess the health of those animals?
Okay, thank you. When I go into the field, the first thing I need to do is examination. We have a distal examination. Maybe I can check if the animals from a distance. Maybe I check at the animals. Is it grazing? Is animal have anorexia? Anorexia is simply a lack of appetite, and also maybe the movement. What is the movement? Is it the animal is isolated from the other herds? Then I come near to close examination. Maybe I put the animal on a crash. I just take vital parameters, for example, temperatures, and check also something on rate, respiratory rate. I use my stethoscope to check respiratory rate, pulse rate, uh, and also maybe the issue of blood. And also I also use palpation, where I touch the lymph nodes of the animal, the parotid lymph nodes and the submandibular lymph nodes, where I can feel when the animal is sick, the lymph nodes tend to become large and not the normal size. Both the submandibular and parotid lymph nodes. And also I check on the issue of a fecal sample, because you find that for the cases of ECF, we have some cases that have fecal stink, blood stink fecal. That is in short words the fecal with the blood, and that also may show me the differential diagnosis for specific disease, and also even the urine for the animal and salivation, nostril discharge, and even the general hair growth. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Nicholas. And in everything you do, I think there are challenges. What are some of these challenges you face while monitoring the health of these animals?
Okay, the challenges being one, we have what's called a relapse. Relapse is a return of a disease. Maybe today I treat an animal, maybe for 2 3 days, and for 2 3 days, you find the animal is recovering, but with maybe the ticks can reinfest again on the same animal and cause the same disease. That brings me again the relapse of the same disease. Also, maybe the animal immunity is very weak; it cannot support the drug, and Another challenge also is when the farmer is trying to call a veterinarian, the animal is on a risk. A farmer cannot report an early symptom the first day when animal shows symptoms of animal, but the farmer tend to stay until the animal is on a risk. He or she now start to call a veterinarian. Yes, that's major. That's majorly the 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 challenge. Also, we have an issue of payment, because you find maybe you diagnose the animal and told the farmer your payment fee is maybe 2,000 shillings, Kenya shillings, and after now the animal may show improvement, but the disease may return again, and the farmer will not feel like the animal have been recovering, but she feel like the animal is not treated correctly. So he or she might call another veterinarian, or feel like uh, the service was not good. The second thing is on our payment is maybe you treat the animal. Unfortunately, the animals died. The chances of a farmer paying that animal is 50-50. He will not really pay like when the animal fully recovered. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Nicholas. Now that we understand the challenges, let's talk about how technology is entering this space. And Stanley, in your view, what does technology, where does technology begin when it comes to solving livestock issues?
Yes, thank you so much, Enos. First of all, I would like to say that also I'm a farmer, and what maybe my colleague was discussing was is the one that I also experienced while also in that field. So, as you said that from those diseases that
Uh, I think we have lost Stanley. Maybe we go back to Nicholas. There is a question asked by our follower out there. He or she is asking, what was the importance of ashes used to spread at the cowshed during a traditional time, and what drugs are being used today as remedy, or it was myths? That's a question from our follower out there.
Okay, thank you for that question. I think traditionally there was some myths, and also maybe one person have tried to do his myths and its functions. So this keep this keep people believe on that myth that it can function. But in real life today, uh, I think it cannot function. But what people tend to do in those days, they were preventing the zoonotic diseases majorly, and also the notifiable diseases. This means notifiable diseases are a disease that maybe notifiable diseases are a disease that in their outbreak they must be reported to government authorities, and zoonotic diseases are diseases that can transfer from human to animal and back from animal to human. So I think their myth was maybe to prevent an outbreak of such a diseases. Thank you.
Uh, Also, there's another question here. Someone is saying we have pigs here in Haiti. Every year during a period of deadly fever, despite the vaccines they receive, which do not prevent them from dying. What is the best solution you can bring us with your experience in the field? That I think that's the question from Haiti.
Okay, thank you for that question. I think major diseases for pigs are a virus and bacterial. For virus diseases, they are the government supporting because farmers cannot treat, you cannot treat a virus disease, but government can only vaccinate so that they can improve the immunity of of the animals from suffering from the diseases. And we have also some bacterial diseases that are notifiable because there are because there is no treatment for virus and bacterial diseases. So the only thing is maybe the government should support vaccination, early vaccination before it tend to harm the stock.
Thank you so much, Nicholas. I think that's the most informative part. So we move now to Stanley. Stanley, back to the question. In your view, where does technology begin when it comes to solving livestock health issues?
Yes, thank you so much, Enos, for the question. As I said earlier, that we are also farmers. I'm a farmer by myself. And what Cameroon was discussing was clearly, I've experienced that in that field. So it said that prevention is better than cure. And we are supposed to maybe spray our cattle by using those drugs so that they can prevent them from ticks, because most of the diseases come out from the ticks that affect the cattle. So maybe back to the field of technology. Technology with agriculture is very important because you'll find that these drugs that Cameroon is talking about it, uh, they are from the lab. That is from the field of the animal health. They are from the lab. So in the lab, we use technology maybe to to analyze various diseases. We use what's known as in computer science is known as natural language processing, whereby now the veterinarians will go and study the symptoms. They will study the by taking data from the fields in the agriculture, from the animal, uh, and they will now go and analyze what may be the potential problem and the solution to it. So uh, recently, with the advancement in technology, uh, the field of animal health has become easier because we have the innovations from technology, that is through mobile apps. We have apps like the Fed Africa and the iCow, which let farmers diagnose symptoms, they track vaccinations, and get advice instantly. We also seeing these IoT sensors, that is the Internet of Things sensors, for the real-time health tracking. This is used for monitoring the temperature, the behavior, and the feeding in the livestock. Then we have also the AI, which is being used to predict diseases, outbreak, and optimize feeding schedules based on the data patterns. So that is how technology is helping in the field of agriculture. And these uses now the AI. Let us not maybe confuse the artificial intelligence and the artificial insemination. So it is I'm talking about the field of technology. So we have these solutions that uh, we are using them to track our animal health. Um, Aside from that, we have in many rural areas, that is the underdeserved areas like top here, that is in West Pokot, and maybe other parts of the Kenya, like the Samburu counties, that those are the pastoralist communities. The access of veterinary professionals is limited. The veterinary professionals in these rural areas, they are manually, maybe they are being contacted by the farmers directly to go to the field, to their farms and access the animals. Like I know Cameroon is doing like that. Maybe traveling to the places where the farmers are located and assess the examination examines the animals and maybe over treatment to the farmer. So with this limited access of maybe technology and the knowledge to technology by the rural farmers, uh, that is where we now experience the problem of the treatment and maybe early detections to the diseases. So maybe back to you, Cameroon, whereby I would like you maybe to give me an example whereby you have maybe used the tech or any app that you have used to diagnose a disease, or maybe just an instance whereby you have encountered technology in your field.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Enos, Mr. Stanley. F- I think many of my cases I've been using phone calls and even WhatsApp videos, because far places where I cannot reach, maybe I can share with the farmer. He can video call the animal or send the pictures of the animal. I just recommend for the drugs they can use to help the animal. Also, also, maybe also on the on movement of the animal, I can still see from WhatsApp video calls and recommend for necessary treatment. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Nicholas and Stanley. And back to you, Stanley. How can sensors or smart devices help detect illness or monitor livestock? Uh, are these tools practical in places like West Pokot? Maybe you can answer, and then Nicholas can also answer that.
Yes, that is now the field of technology with the animal health. The sensors, that is the IoT and maybe the AI, for the surveillance of the animal health. We have these maybe these drones used to do the surveillance and maybe to monitor the animal health. So in places like West Pokot, uh, it is a rare that is a rare case whereby our farmers are still using the traditional method, not the traditional, but they just consult the veterinary services, the nearest veterinary services, and they now over their treatment to their animals, and maybe the advice according to the prescriptions of the officer. So in West Pokot, maybe in large scale farming, that is that will be the future of the animal health. It is rarely used because we have various softwares and tools that are being used, like the GPS and GIS mapping, whereby they can identify disease hotspots and help plan grazing to avoid outbreaks. This was nearly impossible before the tech entered. So it has been implemented in other parts, and I think that will be the future of the animal health, because it will be easy. It will reduce the straining from the farmer, and to help the farmer to monitor his livestock. So back to the
And maybe to add on that GPS location, we have some improved ear tagging that have GPS location. They are majorly used by government ranges and even in wildlife parks. These help to track the movement of animals. For example, the wildlife they can be tracked by the GPS location whenever they move. And also we have the other one improved ones that predict the diseased ones. If if they have not they are not working like the, the normal ones, or they have been left behind by his group mates, you find this one is sick, or it has a challenge. Also, I think it is the future of animal health, and I think government should teach his citizens to practice this, because whenever you can work while at away, but you can monitor your animals while at away. You find you see the movement of your animals. You find one that is need to be breeded, and you can call veterinarian to inseminate the animal. So that could work in near future, and it is not far from where we are getting to. Thank you.
Yes, sure, Nicholas. And back to you, Stanley. Data is often a missing piece in farming communities. How can tech help collect and use animal health data safely and effectively?
yes, that is a very great question, Enos. Uh, with the data, we are going to solve problems related to the animal health, because uh, you'll find that when the government, for example, has advertised for the the free vaccinations, maybe for the prevention for the viral or bacterial diseases, you'll find that for the farmers to get information, it is based maybe on the systems, that is the parasas, or through the chiefs. They now broadcast to the farmers on a certain day of vaccination. Now, when we chip now into data, if we are going to collect data digitally of the farmers by registering them, their locations, the number of the number of the cattle, or the, for example, if it are sheep or the goat, and if now we try to come up with that app, for example, that will now collect this information about all the farmers, it will be easy, because it will help them maybe to, we can take the contacts of the farmer, and the farmers can now get notifications on a certain days of vaccinations or any other tips from the the experts like Cameroon. If we are going to use data, it will help us also to improve the animal health. As we know that healthy animals can lead to healthy families, and also it will increase the productivity, and it will also secure the food security problems that we are currently facing at the nation. So with that data, also we are going to collect the data of diseases from the farm. We are going also to maybe enter the data according to the common problems that our farmers are experiencing in the animal health. So data is a big field, in terms of this treatment of our animals. So with data and AI, it will be easy for us to track the health of our animals. So maybe back to Cameroon, which kind of suggestion will you maybe give us, so that we can work together to solve this problem of our farmers may be experiencing these problems every time. Which kind of app will we be able to develop to help them collect their views and solve them once at a go? Back to you, Camilla.
Okay, thank you for that question. I think the app we need to develop is one, we need to develop an app where within a certain that app, we have expertise, that is the veterinarians, and we have the video uploads from the farmers that will give the testimonial of the animal. And maybe also we add on the telemedicine, maybe the person that can respond easily to farmers, so that whenever there is no in a certain area without a veterinarian, they have an assistant on telemedicine. Thank you.
Yes, that is true. That is true, Camilla. Uh, these problems can be solved with the tech uh, by maybe um, looking for solutions from the experts like you. So maybe to Inos. Inos also is I know he's a farmer. He's a farmer. I would like him also to maybe give us the future of our animal health because he is now working maybe far away from home. He don't know where the how animals are maybe how they are at home. What will be the best way for us to maybe track our animals while even we are in our workplace so that it will be helpful for us because that is also another way of our economy. Yes.
Thank you so much, Stanley. I'm a farmer also, and one of the things that we can do or we can invent so that it can help us because we are far away from home. You cannot easily monitor your animals or maybe your crops or maybe your
Yes. Sorry, Amos. I think we lost you while you are talking. Maybe I will reframe back the question so that our listeners will be able to catch you again. So I was asking that you are a farmer and you are now maybe in your workspace currently. What will be which will be your suggestions from tech field whereby it will help you while working away from home, you are able maybe to monitor your livestock at home or any other part, maybe the coast or what. So what will be the future of tech on your side?
Thank you so much, Stanley. Um, I think now that we are in the world of technology and we have AI and all these other things to do with technology, I think it's high time maybe we come up with an idea whereby we in we build an AI that you can piece into the ear of an animal, maybe it's a cow, and that AI has something like a microchip that can give you timely updates of how the animal is faring on. So I think with that, it can help someone like me who is far away from home and I cannot get timely updates. Because when you say, for example, you do a video call at home, maybe you call someone, say you tell him or her, go to the field, monitor, take a video and send it to me, or you video call directly. You may not understand, or you may not know the conditions, because for me, I'm not a animal health expert. Therefore, I cannot be able to understand some of the conditions. So I think coming up with an AI that can detect these diseases or conditions can really help a lot, and I think that's the future of animal health.
And also to add on that is maybe when the AI detects on disease outbreak, so the treatment will be also timely and productivity will rise. Also, maybe we have a data that will guide vaccination plans and also breeding and resource allocation. Thank you.
Yes, yes, that is from the point of Enos, that was true. Uh, those systems have been already implemented in other places, but we can adjust them. You know, even if the a tool has been invented, we can also readjust and make it to fit to our preferences. So absolutely, we have these IoT devices like the smart collars or implantable sensors, which can track vitals like temperature. We have the heart rate, or even detect when an animal is in heat. That those are some of the AI inventions that has also helped farmers in other places. I think they are being used maybe by the pig uh, farming, that is like or in developed countries, and also in pig farms. So with that, maybe the access to those uh, tools are from maybe the challenges that we face, like the cost to purchase those items, or maybe the technology, the educations. We have not been offered the appropriate education on that. So we are going to deal with that. So that is our future of animal health.
Yes, that is for sure the future of animal health. So we move now to the next segment. That's about the youth and opportunities. So, to both of you, what's the message? What message do you have for young people who want to work at the intersection of agriculture and technology? And I'm going to start with Nicholas.
Thank you for that question. What I can advise youth is to learn both sides, animal health and basic digital skills. And also, you can build apps, offer remote consultation, or run digital animal health business. And also, this is a future of smart farming. Thank you.
That is true, Chameleon. Uh, the advice that I would like to maybe give youths who are trying to combine faith with tech is that firstly is that don't try to pick one world, that is one field. Just embrace both the faith and tech. The faith student is supposed to learn uh, basic coding or data science if possible, so that you can easily understand the tech part and also understand the faith part. With that knowledge, you are maybe going to look into platforms like the Google developers for AgTech. We have the FAO e-learning, or even we have this known as AI for Dev Challenge. This is the field of faith with tech. So the future of work is interdisciplinary. It should be combining both the animal health and also the innovation side. So the advice for the youth specifically is that they should get interested with both technology and the faith part. You should have the passion both in both fields. And to have that passion is means that you are supposed to to access those gadgets like laptops and specific tools or softwares in fact. That is my advice for the youth.
You have now had the advice from both experts in both fields, that's agriculture and animal health. And do you think there's a job potential in digital veterinary services or agri-tech platforms, Nicholas?
Yes, the answer is yes because, like I was saying short time ago, uh, you can build apps, offer you can build your apps, offer remote consultation, or run a digital animal health business. This can help the remote areas and connect, maybe connect the expert to the local people. And with the result, you have created the opportunity for yourself. Thank you.
And if we fully embrace technology in Kenya's animal health sector, what will the future look like for smallholder farmers in places like West Pokot?
Yes, that is a great question. Uh, if we integrate this technology with the animal health, for instance, in various places, the future of animal health will be amazing because it will be easy for the farmers to access the animals' health issues without maybe using a lot or incurring a lot of cost. For example, a person may be working from a far place and the herd or the livestock are also far. So with this future, if now implemented in places like this, I think the economy will also grow as the nation and also as the farmer will be gaining profit each and every day if implemented.
And what's your take, Nicholas, on that?
My take on the issue of tech to farmers is maybe one, uh, we need to co-create tools. Uh, the tech expert build, vets give in field insight, and farmers test. We should also train digital animal health assistant from local communities so that they can help the elderly people and make their livelihood and their livestock healthy.
Thank you so much for that. I think the youth out there have heard what you've said, and the future is agri-tech. So let's move now to the next segment, that is a question and answer. So, and we have some questions here for Stanley and Nicholas. And the first question is, how can technology help prevent cattle rustling in rural areas? Stanley, you can handle that.
Yes, absolutely. That is my field that I should be able to answer from our listener. Uh, to our listener, that is the problem of cat wrestling is as emerged in our community, especially in West Pokot, whereby we have these inter-community clashes like the Marakwet and the Pokot community, and also the Turkana community. For me, if we'll be able to help our people, it will be better if we are going to install the surveillance, like now the CCTV cameras. For example, as here we are being monitored outside by our coordinators like Mr. Dave, and they are seeing everything that is happening from within us. If we are going to build those CCTVs in those places, like Turkana and over the borders there, it will be easy for them to be tracked, whereby now we will be capturing the image of the thief or the rustler, and unnecessary action should be taken, and this will help us to prevent this cattle rustling in rural areas. That is my advice.
Back to Nicholas. There's a question for you here, and the question is: how is DNA used to trace animal lineage or identify inherited diseases in livestock?
Okay, we have inherited genes. For example, in artificial insemination, when you use a large bull, for example, maybe you use a large bull uh, to an animal, and the animal has the bull itself has defects. So when you breed to the animal, the chances of the animal, maybe, let me use the case of disease. Maybe it has a disease, so it will directly transmit to the female animal, and the calf being given birth may also have the same defect, because it will inherit from gene always is inherited from the fathers and the mothers genes. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Nicholas. Another question is: how can you identify these cattle rustlers seeing them on a CCTV? I think this question is directed to Stanley, because you've just talked about CCTV. So maybe you can just expound on that so that our listener or our follower can be able to understand us better.
Yes, yes, that is a great question. That how can you identify this rustler after seeing them on the CCTV? Now, this one will be incorporated with the Ministry of the Interior, because when we are going maybe to build those CCTVs in the borders, they must be located in a certain place whereby it is also secure, because the tools may be interfered by the people. So to identify this ransomware is very easy, because we are going to use the the image with the nearest chief or the chief of that place, maybe the sub chief or the mkasa of that village, and it will be answerable, because those thieves or those rustlers are not far away from those places. They will be identified, or maybe by asking people, or even sharing the video to various people, it will be easy for them to be identified. If not identified, an investigation should be also triggered to the other side of the Ministry of Interior, and that also will help to know the person through the camera.
Uh, I think there was a time police were using surveillance cameras, maybe things like CCTVs, drones, and I didn't hear at one point whereby they used a CCTV or a drone to capture a bandit or a cattle rustler, because those guys know how to run away. Maybe for example, someone might come here Oh, sorry for that. So I was saying, someone a bandit might come from a faraway place and come from steal from this place, and when the camera captures his or her image, the chief or the authorities from this place may not be able to identify. Do you think that's a challenge that we can face with this technology, Stanley?
Absolutely, that is yes, that is a challenge because maybe a chief cannot know everyone. That is where now we are going to access the register of the community on that point of view, whereby now they will go into the database of the government and they will now try to see some of the images maybe through the ID, that national identification cards. We have those images there, and that is where now the investigation will begin. So it is a challenge also, and that one needs a research and a thorough investigation from the Ministry of Interior.
You can also do your research on that part. So as we wrap up, what's your what's one key practice every farmer should adopt to improve animals' health even without expensive tools? Your final thoughts, Nicholas.
Okay, what farmer need to understand is prevention is better than cure. But when the second chance is treatment, and treatment is 50-50 chance. But we treat, yes, but God heals. But the best idea is prevention always leads. Thank you.
Prevention always leads. Stanley, what's one low-cost tech idea every community can start with to improve animal care? Just briefly.
Yes, the low cost idea that our farmers can come up with is by maybe contacting the experts. You just access the contacts of the experts, and they will be looking for solutions through phone calls.
Thank you, Nicholas and Stanley, for such a thoughtful and powerful conversation. And to all our listeners and viewers, thank you for tuning in to this live episode of Project Trinity podcast. It's clear when experts in the field and tech minds come together, big solution big solutions are possible, even in the most remote areas. Don't forget to follow us on all platforms, share this episode, and keep the conversation going. I've been your host, Enos Tudoko, and until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep building the future that works for everyone. Asanteni sana.